welcome to another multiplayer battle on Call of Warhammer Beginning of the End Times. Today we have a battle between, not myself this time, as it's Lizardman is being played by Gurham, and his opponent today is playing the High Elves, and he's called the person behind you, which is quite a good name. Let's see, he is going with quite a good Lizardman build. It's quite an even battle. It goes kind of back and forward a wee bit, but we'll see that as the battle progresses. Let's go through the army compositions. We've got, I think, 4 units of Skink Archers, 3 units of Temple Guards, 4 units of Saurus, 2 units of Croxigors, and then more Saurus Spears in the rear. This is a very cool map. Very fitting of Lustria. It's got like the Aztec sort of temple, and you can just imagine a Slan or a Lizardman army defending their temple here. It looks rather cool. If I was using this map, I would definitely, if I was on the Lizardman side, I would put a Slan up on this little tower here, and then he's got basically free reign of the battlefield, and he can fire down on the enemies, and it'll take the enemies ages to get there, and all you need to do is block off this little valley here between the 2 watchtowers, and then just watch for flank attacks on the rear and the left side. But it's he was deployed rather fairly, and they both maybe agreed to meet on the open plain bit of the hill, because it's a bit unfair if one guy's got a mountain and the other guy's got to climb all the way up there. And if you're under slant fire, it'll take you maybe 2-3 minutes to get up there at least, so even with foot troops. So you're going to get 2-3 shots off with a Slan, and that could really affect the game. So I'm glad they didn't decide to do that, because it made for a much more interesting battle. Let's go through the High Elf composition now. He's got a Mage Lore Masters of Hoeth. These guys are incredibly good on flat terrain. I have noticed that they are rather buggy, or do not fire on kind of hilly terrain, so maybe it was a poor choice in retrospect for the on this map to bring them. He's got a load of High Elf Spears. I'm assuming they're upgraded. I would upgrade the High Elf Spears because they perform a lot better. If you upgrade them, they're a lot sturdier. I can't tell if does anyone know how to tell upgrades? I think if there was upgrades, the flag would be have these sort of red dots on it. No, maybe I'm mistaken, but anyway, there's a way to tell. I think it was Rome 1, an old video of another YouTuber showed you how to tell if there was upgrades on a flag. The way that the banners are, if the flag is different, then it tells you the amount of upgrades, but I could be mistaken. Anyway, back to his army list. We got Swordmaster's Hof. The standard run-of-the-mill sort of army is High Elf Archers and High Elf Spears is the main sort of contingent, and he's got 2 Swordmasters of Hoeth guarding his Reaper Bolt Thrower, which may have been good choice, may have not. It's good for taking down large dinosaurs. If he'd brought a lot more of them, it might have been interesting. His cavalry contingent, he's got Silver Helms and Dragon Princess of Caldor, and he's actually got 2 units of Lore Masters of Hoeth, but they are not as effective on hilly maps, and the same in the R-Wing, the same cavalry contingent of Silver Helms and Dragon Princess of Caldor. This battle starts quite quickly. They both want to gain this flat ground in the middle here, so let's see the High Elf perspective marching up the hill. I don't know if this is supposed to be a recreation of the Warhammer Total War teaser trailer with the High Elves, but it is, for all intents and purposes, a really good battle. Very close. This is how you want your battles to be. And the Engine of the Gods is moving up. The Blizzards are ready to defend their temple cities. They don't take no High Elf shit. And keep moving. He's got the Skink Archers have got the range advantage now, but the High Elf Archers have also got a huge range, enough to fire up the hill. So it's basically a little missile skirmish to start off the battle. I would have moved the spears up a little more further in front, to shield the archers better, because I think they get bonus versus missiles and shield wall formation. Because it's about Temple Guard are really eager to engage this. They look sweet with their little sort of Aztec plumes and the shields of spiky shields with sort of golden obsidian blades. But see, if he'd moved his high elf spears forward, he may have not. See, the archers have got it there, and they're struggling to get away. But the Temple Guard have engaged the high elf spears. They got off a really nice charge. I've never seen a more powerful charge. I think the best faction for breaking high elf lines is either Khorne or Lizards, because they must get such a high charge bonus. Some of them have actually managed to break through the lines, and if you do that, you're technically surrounded. So the Kroxigors have engaged. Oh, there's a cavalry battle here on the wing that I didn't notice the first time I watched this replay. One unit of Sora's Scar veterans is tying down the Silverhelms and the Dragon Princes of Kaldor. There's 20 of them, but they've got 3 HP, so they're going to be able to hold them out. See, you don't want to engage Sora's Scar veterans. They're quite slow, so you'd rather than try to take these guys with cavalry, you want to kind of get spears or something on them and try and engage or support your main infantry line, because his infantry line is not doing well against all these lizards. It needs some cavalry support. See, he's rather than go for the archers with these 2 cavalries, what I should have done in my opinion is hit into the rear of these Sora spears, because the skink archers are not going to do a whole lot of damage. Okay, he's doing it now. He's going right into the Temple Guards, which is a nice cavalry charge there. And reacting to, he sent a Dragon Prince of Kaldor against Skinks. I would have done the opposite. I would have sent the Silverhelms against the Skinks and Dragon Prince of Kaldor with a more powerful charge against the main lines. But he's noticed this, and he's decided to commit his Engine of the Gods. This is a great Engine of the Gods play. For anyone that plays Lizards, this is how you use it. When you're enemy lines engaged, you just charge right up the middle and charge right through the enemy, and it'll rout most units, because it causes fear, I believe. And you just rout instantly the high elf line. That was a great Engine of the Gods play there. Credit to Gurren for that move. And it's caused the chain rout through his lines that have already been heavily depleted. They would have won that fight anyway, but even with cavalry attacking them in the rear, they're not doing that well at all. The Engine of the Gods run rampant. He's going out for another charge now. See if he can mess up someone's day here. Swordmasters of Hoth got high morale, so they're quite hard to break. It didn't really get off a good charge there. It kind of stopped right before it finally charged. The Kroxigors engaging the Swordmasters of Hoth. I don't know who would win that fight in their prolonged engagement. I know Swordmasters of Hoth are very strong in melee. They've got some nice buffs. I've seen them beat Ushabti in melee combat, so. And then they've just been engaged by Silverhelms in the rear as well, so that's not going to go good for those Kroxigors. Dropped 2 models already, just from that charge. The Engine of the Gods is tying up the archers now, stopping them from firing. I don't know what's happening with this Eagle Thrower, but it's firing. I think it's firing into the Kroxigors all the while, but now the Temple Guard have engaged them. The Swordmasters of Hoth then have regrouped, decided they need help out their high elf brethren, and going for a charge and bring down the Stegodon. Or the Engine of the Gods, sorry. But some excellent cavalry play as well from the person behind you. He's managed to rout most of the archers, but personally I think it's a waste of... I don't know where he moved his Dragon Prince of Kaldor unit, but it was in attacking Skinks last I seen it. Yeah, it was getting shot and it's now down to 9 men. I don't know what else engaged it, but it kind of seems like a bit of a waste of a really strong cavalry piece. But he's doing some excellent hammer and anvils with his Silverhelms. This blob here is probably going to favour the lizards, even with cavalry support, because they've got numbers and the Sora spears. And look at the shots you get in the rear of the... Holy... That was at least 10-20 models dropping there. So you can get an Engine of the Gods behind enemy lines and just fire like that. That is how you're supposed to use Engine of the Gods, guys. It's a very deadly piece if you use it right. Croxagors are chasing. The Scar veterans, sorry I missed the cavalry engagement, it was a pronged melee fight. Eventually were defeated and overwhelmed by the Silverhelms and the Dragon Princess Kaldor, but they weakened them considerably and stalled them long enough for the Lizardman lines to kind of carry the day, and the main battle line was really won, where I placed most of the focus, because cavalry is insignificant if you can't utilise it effectively. I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean they didn't get to his main battle line in time, and his main battle line was overwhelmed. So the trick with cavalry is timing, because if you've got so many units in a main battle line already to counter engage the cavalry, they're not going to win you a battle. Cavalry, I know, are very strong in medieval to our people, to let people tell you otherwise, but if you have enough infantry to counter them, and they're down to like less than 20 models, they're not going to be an impact on the game. The Lizardmen are sort of routing, sorry, the High Elves are routing towards the temple site. I don't know why. If the Lizardmen and the High Elves ever fought each other, because I know they're quite friendly, or those who deem the Lizardmen would deem them the most friendly of the races. I don't know if they have a grudge against them or anything in the lore, but I know they hate chaos and undead, and they're very untrusting of humans that constantly sort of raid them. I don't know if the Dogs of War land in Rustria, and also for gold and try to steal their gold like conquistadors. I don't know if that's in the lore, but also you've got the Dark Elves constantly raiding them. The Dark Elves are probably their main enemy, but the Dark Elves get the Cold One dinosaurs as well. The Cold One dinosaurs are the sort of feral creatures that inhabit Lustria. And I know a little of the lore, that the lizards worship the Slan, and I think there's a cult of Sotek or something. I believe Sotek is a prophecy, or some sort of like vision or of how the future or how the chaos will engulf the world, and the Slan refuse to interpret it or something like that. And they don't believe that the cult of Sotek is really going to pass. They believe in the old ones will come and rescue them. I'll link some pages to the lore of Sotek and the Lizardmen if you want to read it, but I just kind of skimmed over it quickly, but it seems quite interesting. The Lizardmen have got quite a lot of background lore, even more so in their Seraphon Battle Tome. If you play tabletop, it explains all the wars against Chaos, I'm pretty sure, in the first like 100 odd pages or whatever of that book, it's quite detailed, so I don't know if you could maybe grab your hands on a copy of that, or maybe download a copy. It's quite interesting lore to read. But yeah, there's basically a guy called Sotek, and he's very shunned upon by the leaders of the Lizardmen, this land. They don't believe him. His prophecy will come to pass because he's a lesser lizard. He's not technically a Slan. I think he's just a regular, like birthing of Saurus or something like that. Sotek, I could be mistaken. But if you'd like to mention any comments about the lore, just be happy to tell me, because I've not really read it in any great depth. I just know of it. But yeah, I think the best person to watch for lore videos is Arch Warhammer. He has a channel dedicated to the lore of Warhammer. If you are not familiar with him, I definitely recommend checking him out. He goes into great detail, like hour-long videos of lore. So something I can't really do. I like maybe shorter videos and recordings. It's just more my style. I like to do some battles and entertain you guys with some great called Warhammer mod, which I'm sure we all love. Again, this is just more of a mop-up operation for lizards. You still got some archers left. I don't think they're going to do much against. He's got some cavalry left as well, but the Crocodiles will just make mincemeat of cavalry in a prolonged melee engagement. And the Swordmasters of Hoeth, final unit. I may double speed this now because I think he's chasing down a lot of routers, and some of the routers are miles away off the map. But he did do some nice counter maneuvers there. Sorry I got a little distracted in this video, but there just wasn't a lot of happening towards the end of the video. It was more of a chasing down, routing sort of units. But the balance bar, excuse me, was very very even. It was 91 to 83, so I could have went either way. I guess that's why I was fighting to the death. Very interesting battle. I love this map as well. It's very cool. The lizards have got a nice wee hill. Croxagors are fast enough to chase down the remnants of the High Elf archers, and I think that's a good game. I love how there's a little sort of river or lake here, and it's like as if the High Elves maybe sailed up the river and tried to assault the temple city of the Slan, or the Lizardmen. And the Lizardmen just charged down the hill and just ferociously defended their homeland. I don't know why the High Elves would incur into Lustria, but you know, I'm sure there'd be reasons for it. The Temple Guard did pretty good with 80 kills, and one of the Engineer Gods got 100 kills, but did more morale damage. All the Saurus were really nice, and the Scar Veterans only got 19 kills, surprisingly, but one of them got 40, but that was all in cavalry. It was a very interesting battle. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, consider subscribing if you'd like to see more Call of Warhammer content. Oh, and one final note, if any of you guys have any replays you'd like to send me that are good and you believe would be interesting to cast, be sure to send them to an email address I'll provide in the video, and I'll check them out, and they'll give me more content and to bring you guys, because sometimes I'm lacking content. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and have a great day.